Good morning, everyone. It is 3:16 of calendar 2013, 8:42 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're gathered here for the weekly earnings that will be coming out on FedEx this upcoming week. You got FedEx. They're going to have a lot to say. That's a bellwether. We're going to take a look at JBL, which is, Jabil Circuits, and we're going to go over the weekly charts on each one of them. Oracle, which is up on the deck. Then we start getting down into some of the retailers. Lululemon will be out on Thursday of this coming week. And so will Ross Stores, which is one of the better retailers out of any of the retail. And retail has been quite choppy of late. Again, the bellwether Nike, NKE, and we'll take a look at those weekly charts. And the other big one that we'll be looking at is Tiffany and Company. But let me tell you something. Starting the week in the weekly earnings, and this is the end of this quarterly earnings, the new quarterly cycle starts on April 10th. So these are the ones that come in at the end of this particular quarter from the last quarterly earnings before we start the new one. One of the things that's going to happen this week is that these stocks, a couple of these in here, such as Nike, such as Cintas, CTAS, they provide a lot of uniforms in the workforce. We'll be looking to see what they have to say. However, FedEx is going to be a bellwether. You're going to have that home builder Lennar that's been on fire. Their last earnings consensus, they came in at 16 cents. A year ago, they were at 8 cents. So we have that bellwether GES, GES, coming out, and it's another retailer. Oracle is up at its all-time highs going into those earnings. But let me tell you what can derail anything here. And you have KB Home and that. And so you're going to get a lot of housing data. But let me just tell everybody something. And I'm not going to do it in this video. But you got the 2-day FOMC meeting coming out. So when I go under calendar and I look for events calendar or conferences. Let's go to conferences. We have lots of conferences that are going to be coming out. And like I said, you're going to have a 2-day FOMC meeting this week. And I will get into that in a separate video, but I will tell you that there will be some good news out of some of those earnings. But on Wednesday, if the language change and they start pulling out some of the stimuluses, this market has a good reason to sell off because it's overbought. We'll also be taking a look at conferences. We do have some coming up here. We went through a lot of them where people are presenting. So we do have a couple of conferences that are going to be coming out. Here we have a slew of companies that we're going to go through in here that have a lot of stuff to say about where they're at. Broadcom in optical fiber, we're going to take a look and see what Broadcom has to say. And here's a whole bunch of other ones that are going to be presenting as well. And we'll go through the list and we'll find out what the best of the breed is and we'll pick them off as far as that goes. The upcoming economic calendar is the retail sales that came out. They were a little bit, they were 1.1%. There's a lot of stuff going on as far as retail stocks go that we'll cover. We're going to get some of the data that's going to be very important is going to be the housing, the NABH housing market index on the 18th. I would just like to let people know that on March 19th, the housing starts and building permits are going to be significant to this rally. The FOMC is going to start their 2-day meeting, or they're on March 20th. FOMC, they're going to have a rate decision, Ben Bernanke, okay? And we're going to get some other very existing home sales on March 21. All of these things that are coming out this particular upcoming week are going to be very important as to what happens in markets. I will tell you, though, that no matter what they have to say, Wednesday could be people are going to be looking for the way that the FOMC statement would change. And one thing about the housing market and all the things that's been driving this rally up, it takes financials and housing markets to get a new bull market, and that's what we've been getting. So we've got those two sectors working for the bull. Without them, we would still be in a bear. These are going to be very important this upcoming week. And it will. Building permits and housing starts, and this particular one right here, 18th and the 19th. And then you got all related housing data that's going to be released that either could send the market up to a higher resistance level in an extreme overbought bull market. And the FOMC meeting could really cause some short-term problems for this bull run if they change the language statements. So we will get in depth about what those earnings that are going to be coming out. And I will just tell you that we are very overbought on the Dow with this economic data coming out. Next week is going to be a big week. And those big companies that are going to report could help this bull, but it could be derailed by the FOMC. Are they going to change their statement? Are they going to start pulling stimuluses back? Are the rates going to go higher? Yes, they will. And we'll talk about that in a separate video and separate training with them. And the Dow is up at the top. All of the indexes are at their top going into the meeting. And I just want people to understand one thing that's very important is what the market will do to respond at a bull market overbought top based on all of the economic indicators that are being released this week. But the most important one is going to be what the FOMC says here. The housing starts and the mortgage index, the MBA that's going to be reporting, all of these would support your bull rally with good numbers and even could climb higher. However, it can be totally derailed on Wednesday, and people need to put their seatbelts on because we could have extreme market volatility on this day. And these are the economic indicators, and the title of this is to bring the awareness to our MMT and our worldwide trading network that these are going to be very significant this week. And they're going to be extremely significant because we're at all-time highs. And we closed down Friday. So, once again, the title of this is March 18th through March 22nd on the economic indicators that's coming out, how the price volatility in the market would increase. And it's all going to be based on that. When we go back over to the earnings calendar once again, we get back into that calendar, and these bellwether stocks that are coming up on the 18th through the 22nd, the bull is going to need some good news out of these companies like the FedEx is going to tell us a lot, and it will. So I just want people to know that there's a lot at stake, and Lululemon, we'll be watching that one, and we're going to go through each weekly chart today and tomorrow as to what that these things, and that Ross store is going to be the best one. We'll be looking at Perry Ellis. I got the Lululemon, so you got home builders and retail. The bulk of these end of the quarter earnings releases, along with major economic indicators that can turn these markets. And any good news out of any one of these trades here, Nike or any of the bellwethers, is that that's going to be irrelevant to the FOMC meeting. And the language is going to be the most important thing that the bull is going to be chewing on. So I'm going to conclude this particular update of what 18 through 22 is about and how the markets could have a good sized dip based on the FOMC statement.